Yes, it's John G. Sutton here, Tales from the Jails. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about the politically correct way that prisons and all manner of society has changed over the last, 50 years really. Seems to be accelerating a little bit now, don't you think? I mean, all of you who've been watching the news will no doubt have seen that there has been a recent report into the fire brigade, specifically the London Fire Brigade, where it was found that there was a great deal of misogyny, that's hating women, disliking women, mistreating women, a great deal of misogyny, racist behaviour, and persecution of ethnic minority groups and members of the LGBT community. And you see, I believe, listen, I'll just tell you, I'm a bit of a dinosaur myself, but I'll tell you what my take on this is. It's the same in the prisons. Yeah. Basically, let's just say I decided to join the LGBT community and started dressing as a woman. First of all, this beard would have to go, wouldn't it? Then where do I keep my lipstick? Come on. Let's be honest about this. You can't issue people a uniform without somewhere to put their lipstick, can you? Yeah, just wouldn't be right. And of course, now we've got female staff running the prisons. I mean, you can imagine. You get, say, I used to work on E-Wing in Strange Race. Big wing, probably about 500, 600 inmates. Just the wing, that's the one wing. Yeah. You've got half a dozen staff, female staff on there, and it kicks off. What are you going to do? Handbags at dawn. Yeah. Ooh. Karen, you hit him with your handbag, love. Mm. And of course, then around the corner you've got a converted version of me in my high heels, searching for my lip. I'm not quite ready yet. Tell them to wait a bit. I'm just applying lipstick and mascara. Oh, I mean, there's a time and a place for everything. I mean, and also the Fire Brigades Union, believe this or not, set up separate sections in the union for people of ethnic minority groups, people who are LGBT, for females. This is separate from them. So they're actually creating a problem. Now, the problem doesn't actually exist unless you're ultra-sensitive. Now, when I was in the army, I mean, they didn't think nothing about dragging you out of bed in the middle of the night and holding you down and pouring whiskey into your mouth. Seriously, that happened to me a number of times. Oh, no, I'm not averse to having a glass of whiskey, but at 2 o'clock in the morning with 3 blokes holding you down, you get a bit, you object to that sometimes. But hey, that's the military. You don't join the army, if you're not joining a religious community, The military is tough, or it was tough in them days. I mean, nowadays they've got. Do you know they've got health and safety officers on the parachute regiment course? They have to have safety harnesses and all that. When I was up there doing, I think they call it the trainasium, you're about 150 foot in the air, balancing on parallel bars, and down below there were rocks and all sorts of stuff. If you'd fallen off there, you were definitely going to hospital if you survived. And was it the Long Valley they used to run on in Aldershot? It was thick with mud. You were running through mud that was about 2 foot deep, and you got to get there with a bloody telegraph pole on your shoulders. Have you ever tried carrying a telegraph pole? But of course, if you're going to get ladies taking part in this, or LGBT soldiers in high heels, then they're not going to be able to do that, are they? No. So is that discrimination against them by saying, listen, you get yourself a pair of boots on? and get yourself some running gear and then go for it. No, they're not allowed to do that, are they? Because it's discrimination. Also, I mean, when I was in the prison, even in the prisons then, they were serving special food for people who were of the Islamic religion when they were celebrating Ramadan. They only eat outside the hours of, in the hours of darkness after the sunset, you see. Seriously. So they got a special diet, which that's their religion, that's fine. But practice it in a church, practice it in a prison where you've managed to get yourself because you've been robbing or molesting people. That's a risk that you take, But I mean, they were helping them a little bit. But listen, the Fire Brigades Union is taking a great deal of flack for this, saying that, but it would be, it's institutionalised, isn't it? It's the same with the police, Same with the police, same with the prisons. You're going to get people who've got a strange sense of humour. Because believe me, to get through the day in these places, you've got to have a dark sense of humour. I mean, you're patrolling the landing and suddenly a big todger comes poking through the spy hole. Yeah, what do? I mean, you don't say, excuse me, take that down. Oh, you get your truncheon and give it a whack. Yeah, take your todger out of the door. Boof! That's what you've got to do. You've got to have a sense of humour about it, you see. If you go through life taking it too seriously, you're going to end up believing all sorts of shit. Eh? And I just can't see me in high heels and a party frock with lipstick and shave my beard off. But what would I call myself? I wouldn't call myself John, would I? Gene, eh? Yeah. My name's Gene. And listen, I haven't got anything against people who are LGBT. I've got a cousin who's one of the leading lights in this country. She goes to Parliament and all that, speaks against it. Absolutely, get on with it. But to change the institutions of Great Britain, this is we're in England, This is our England. And shouldn't need to change, shouldn't need to amend it. Just because somebody wants to be different. If they want to be different, that's fine, get on with it. But accept, that if you're in that kind of culture, that's what you're going to get. It's not harming you. I mean, I got called all sorts of names, as I said, dragged out of bed and forced to drink whiskey and all sorts of nonsense in the army. But you just fight back, after you've battered them once or twice, they'll leave you alone then. Or don't touch him, he's going to hurt you. Oh, that's all right. Leave me alone. You stand your ground. Handbags at dawn, eh? Anyway, I'm going to recite you a poem now, so if you don't like that, it's time to go. The song dinger is ding dong dinging, but it's a poem, not a song today. I'm going to do another one by John Betjeman. This is one of my favourite poems by Betjeman. It's called Upper Lamborn. It's about the area in England where they train horses, for race horses, Upper Lamborn. Up the ash tree climbs the ivy, up the ivy climbs the sun. With a 20,000 pattering has a valley breeze begun. Feathery ash neglected elder, shift the shade and make it run. Shift the shade towards the nettles, and the nettles set it free to streak the stained Carrara headstone, where in 1923 he who trained 100 winners paid the final entrance fee. Leathery limbs of Upper Lamborn, leathery skin from sun and wind, leathery breeches spreading stables, shining saddles left behind, to the down the string of horses moving out of sight and mind. Feathery ash in leathery Lamborn waves above the sarsen stone, and Edwardian plantations so coniferously mown, and to make the swelling downland far surrounding seem their own. There you are. When he talks about Carrara headstones, Carrara is a form of marble that's used for headstones in churchyards and graves. So he's talking about the stained Carrara headstones, and the inscription on that was were in 1923. So it would be the name of a horse trainer. So there we have it today. That was John Betjeman's Upper Lamborn. And here we are at Tales from the Jails. A little whinge about being politically correct in institutions that have served this country well. And this is England, by the way. There'll always be an England. And come on, join in. And England shall be free. If England means as much to you as England means to me. Well, you'll never be able to listen to that again, will you? Tales from the Jails. Don't forget to get my book. Bye.